To Texas Tech, a 1-point loss to open league play here in Foster Pavilion. Ball's in the air, tip control by the Knights, and we are underway. Baylor and UCF, Big 12 women's basketball this evening. There's Harmon outside the arc on the left side. Averages 16.5 points per game. Passes it right side to Jacoria Bracey. Bracey will get the ball in the hands of Summer Yancey. Back to Bracey, and she knocks down the mid-range jumper.
You know, that was really patient from UCF to open this game. Just moved the ball, got a shot that they liked, and Bracey was able to knock it in.
So a 2-0 lead for the Knights. Baylor wearing the home gold tonight has it. Their first possession. There's Talia Scott. There's what we're talking about.
That's what she does. She puts the ball in the basket.
She is, as Nikki Collins says, a professional scorer. We saw a glimpse of that right there. Her runner ties the game at 2 apiece. Nice lob down low. Baylor collapses on Kaela Ngodu. And she is, I don't know what the call was there. There was not a foul, right? She just lost the ball.
Jump
oh, a
ball.
tie-up. Gotcha. Thank you. So they tied up. Possession arrow favors Baylor, and the Bears have the ball back. Starting 5 for Baylor. Talia Scott, Jana Van Geitenbeek, Bella Fauntleroy, Kirsten Johnson, and Garyana Littlepage Buggs. There's a three that has the shooter's touch and rolls in.
Yeah, a three, a layup contested early in this game. She already has 5 points, and we're not even 2 minutes into this game.
How about that? Talia Scott, again, averages 20.5 points per game. Yancey on the left wing. Here's it. Bracey dribbles further left. Now on the baseline left side, Mahogany Chandler Roberts. Free throw line jumper misses for Bracey. Rebound by Garyana Littlepage Buggs. Baylor in the Big 12's leading rebounder in Buggs. Nice pass underneath by Scott, but through the hands of and out of bounds, just threw that one away. Kirsten Johnson couldn't handle the pass.
Yeah, she was open. She was calling for it. Van Geitenbeek didn't see her, and by the time Scott saw her, had a little bit too much heat behind that pass.
Turnover Baylor, 5-2. Bears lead it 2 minutes in first quarter here in Waco. Pass back outside to Leah Harmon. Harmon would be their version of a professional scorer, right?
Yes, and not everybody can score 38 points in a Big 12 game, so she showed that.
He gives that one away, and three is up, no good by Jacoria Bracey. 5-2 Bears. Nikki Collin on the Baylor sideline. 17-3 is the overall record for Baylor at this point in the season. That is the best record in Nikki's time here in Waco through 20 games. 5th season as head coach of the Bears. Talia Scott, another jumper. This one rolls off. Rebounded by UCF's Chandler Roberts. She'll bring it up herself. Give the ball to Leah Harmon. Harmon, Scott on her defensively. Will drive. Ball knocked away. And Bella Fauntleroy saves it in bounds. Passes ahead to Littlepage Buggs. To the trailer, Scott for three, no good, but she was bumped. A foul, and the best free throw shooter in the Big 12 is going to the line for 3 shots.
Yeah, Talia Scott might be the only player I know that gets fouled consistently from 3-point range, but people leave her open, like in transition. Nobody identified her, and she was able to get an open look.
Just barely bumped her. I think it was a foul. First personal on Jacoria Bracey. So Scott at 91%, 90.7% to be exact. Oh, we talked about it too much.
You gave her too many props.
That's right, that's right. First one rims out, no good. She's got 3 free throws, was in the act of shooting a 3 when she was fouled. Second one is good. Satia Messer back in Waco. 4th season as head coach at UCF. Former Baylor assistant coach for 8 seasons. Now has her own program in the Big 12 at UCF. Satia Messer, part of that 2019 National Championship team, the staff here at Baylor. 2 free throws, 7-2 lead for the Bears. Under 7 minutes on the clock, first half, first quarter. Ball nearly stole. Pressure defensively by Baylor. Good. Miss on the left wing by Crystal Asen. And here come the Bears on the run out. Jana Van Geitenbeek leading the way. Van Geitenbeek will give it up to Kirsten Johnson. No good. Little Paige Buggs, an offensive rebound. Back to Scott. That one's no good. Back iron, ball out of bounds. Little Paige Buggs nearly runs the TMSer over trying to get that loose ball.
Yeah, it just seems like Baylor has a little bit more pep in their step in this game. Up to this point, they're locking down on the defensive end, only giving UCF one shot attempt per possession and running on the offensive end.
Well, you know, 6-game winning streaks kind of put a pep in your step, don't they? That's what Baylor is right now to get to 6-1 in Big 12 play. Drive into the paint by Summer Yancey, and the ball is ripped away by Bella Fauntleroy. How about that defense? Fauntleroy now gets the pass from Van Geitenbeek. 7-2, Baylor lead, first quarter. Nice bounce pass, and it rolls around and out. Boy, did everything but go down on that shot. Up the floor is Crystal Asen. And underneath the banker is good to make it 7-4. Crystal Asen with the bucket for UCF. Van Geitenbeek, another nice assist. Oh, that one bounced out. There's Kirsten Johnston padding her stats. Gets a rebound and the bucket.
Yeah, Van Geitenbeek needs to tell her about that. She took away her assist to get a rebound.
9-4 Baylor advantage nearing the 5-minute mark here in the first half. Talia Scott has 7. Kirsten Johnson, the only other Baylor player to score here in the first quarter. That three is no good by Summer Yancey. Yancey, the sophomore from Kansas City, Missouri. Scott looks to drive, kicks. Van Geitenbeek's three, no good. Back iron. Rebound by Fauntleroy. Baylor has put a real emphasis on rebounding and offensive rebounding in practice the last few days. There's a drive in, and Little Paige Buggs scores for the first time tonight.
Yeah, and they're getting second chance opportunities. They're getting the rebound out to open shooters right there. Just a really good read by Van Geitenbeek. The rolling Dariana Little Paige Buggs to the basket.
11-4, another steal. Fourth steal of the first quarter by Baylor. Back to Scott, and she nails the triple. Timeout, UCF. Talia Scott has 10 in the first quarter, and Baylor leads 14. Talia Scott on the bench as play resumes. And UCF with the basketball. 8-0 advantage for Baylor in points off turnovers has helped them build that lead. For the Knights, Summer Yancey picks up her dribble, gives it away to Samari Bankhead, who's checked in, freshman from Los Angeles. There's a runner too strong, offensive rebound and put back by Savannah Scott.
Yeah, really good box out right there. She just carved out position and was able to get a rebound for UCF and get second chance opportunities, which is what I think they're going to need because they're not hitting their first shot.
Scott stands at 6'4", transfer from Auburn, originally from Conway, Arkansas. The shot makes it 14-6, snaps a 7-0 Baylor run. Eugene Dunn is on the floor for Baylor. Markayla Johnson is out there as well for the Bears. Drive along the baseline, kick it back to Dunn, has to put it up. Attempting to beat the shot clock, can't draw iron. Shot clock violation by Baylor.
And that's the best defensive possession UCF had. They were active, got their hands, forced Baylor deep into that shot clock, and eventually caused a shot clock violation.
So the Knights have it back, down 14-6. Nice entry pass to Savannah Scott. Up and in. Back-to-back buckets by the Knights. Scott with 4 points off the bench already for UCF. One of the top teams in the Big 12 as far as bench points. They average 22 bench points per game. Kyla Abraham, jumper, turnaround is good. First two tonight by Kyla Abraham.
Yeah, she doesn't shoot a lot of them, but she's capable of making that 12-foot shot.
It's a good-looking shot. Turn around, knock it down. Kept the ball high. Nobody was going to get to it. Baylor leads it 16-8. And a turnover by UCF. Bears take it the other way. Yuting Dunn, Auburn transfer. Gives to Van Geitenbeek. Dunn looks underneath for Abraham. Instead gives to Little Paige Buggs. Out of Markayla Johnson. Around the perimeter, 10 to shoot. Dunn. Extra pass to Abraham. Shot partially blocked out of bounds. Mahogany Chandler Roberts will get credit for the block shot.
Yeah, UCF is now making the extra effort. Earlier in this game, we saw 2 layups that were wide open, and now you see UCF with the help defense coming over to block that shot.
You know, that quick timeout by Satia Messer, I think it helped. They sort of regrouped. Runner no good by Van Geitenbeek as the shot clock expires. UCF with the ball. Pushing the tempo up the floor to Samari Bankhead. Now back outside it comes to Crystal Eisen. Eisen will drive, layup, good by Crystal Eisen.
Yeah, what a difference the subs and timeout has made for UCF. It seemed like that quick timeout, and they've gotten themselves right back in this game.
Well, they've outscored Baylor 6-2 since that timeout. There's an air ball miss on the three-pointer. UCF has it back within 6, 16-10. Minute 13 and counting, first quarter. Summer Yancey dribbles on the perimeter. Gives to Eisen briefly. Now back to Yancey. 3 by Bankhead, left corner is no good. This there, Baylor's three-point defense is the best in the nation. They're allowing only 22.2% on three-point shooting. That is at a record pace. If they could keep that up, it would be an NCAA record, allowing just 22.2% from 3.
And you talk a lot about Baylor and their offensive production from Scott and Little Paige Buggs, but their defense is fierce. They are tops in blocks in the Big 12. They keep people out of the paint. They force you to shoot those threes, and some of them are bad threes. So that's what leads to helping their percentages. That's
a great point. That's really how Baylor, has built that 6-game winning streak on the strength of defense. Near steal there, speaking to that point. UCF regroups. Chandler Roberts, shot no good, fight for the rebound. Savannah Scott gets it back under the bucket, kicks it outside to Eisen for 3. It is good. Couple of bounces on the rim and in for Crystal Eisen.
Yeah, what a turnaround for UCF at the end of this first quarter. That timeout really changed this game for them.
And here's a steal by the Knights. They give it right back to Leah Scott with the ball. Ahead to Yuting Dunn for 3. No good. Final second. And that's the end of the first quarter. Baylor jumped to a 10-point.
So it gives you a chance to control your own destiny going into the end of the season.
And UCF has won 2 of their last 3 to get to 2-5. Could be a 3-game winning streak for the Knights, except for an overtime loss at home to Cincinnati. So the Knights have hit their stride. There's another turnover by UCF, and Baylor has the ball back. Game of runs in the first quarter, a 14-2 run by Baylor, then a 9-2 run by UCF to pull within 3, and that's where we stand, beginning the second quarter. Kayla Nelms on the floor for Baylor. Away, turnover Bears. UCF glad to take it the other way. Summer Yancey into the court to Eisen, falling down, gets the ball back to her teammate Yancey. Yancey picks up her dribble, gives it back to Eisen. Shot clock at 10. There's a drive, shot blocked by Dunn, but a foul before the block. Looks like a foul is going to be called on Baylor's Markayla Johnson.
And the foul wasn't necessary. You saw Dunn was coming over to help to block that shot. That's what Baylor does best, is their help defense, that second line defense, and just a foul that you didn't need to commit.
Johnson, a freshman, true freshman out of Tulsa, Booker T. Washington High School. Inbounds, and it's going to be an illegal screen set by Savannah Scott. That'll give the ball back to the Bears. Leah Harmon actually hit that shot, but wiped out because of the screen. So a minute in, second quarter. Neither team has scored here in this second stanza. Van Geitenbeek to Fauntleroy. Turnaround jumper, right elbow is no good.
Yeah, Baylor's taking really quick shots out of that 2-3 zone. I think they're taking the first shot instead of getting the best available shot, and that's playing into UCF's favor right now.
Yeah, that one may have been a little quick in the possession. There's a drive by Yancey. Shot up, no, but she was fouled. Summer Yancey's going to go to the free throw line for UCF. Knights coming off a big win over Colorado. Yancey had a career-high 25 points in that win over the Buffs.
Yeah, she's continuing to be aggressive tonight, forcing the foul from Baylor, driving that man-to-man defense and forcing them to either block her shot or foul her and get her to the free throw line.
UT Dunn whistled for that foul. Baylor did not commit a foul in the first quarter tonight, Daniel Ramirez tells us. They committed 2 so far here in the second. Yancey the free throw, 1 of 2. It's 16-14, 2-point game. Baylor early on led this game 14-4. Now it's 16-14 Bears. Van Geitenbeek, top of the key. Swings it right side to Talia Scott. Scott has 10 of Baylor's 16 points. Little Paige Buggs banks in a 3. Oh, covers her mouth. Nobody's gonna put an asterisk by that one.
Yeah, I don't think so, but still it was a very quick shot, and I think UCF is okay with them banking in threes if they're going to do that for the rest of the game.
It's a really good point. Banked in 3. Baylor leads it 19-14. 2 minutes gone, second quarter. Ison throws it away, threw it into the Baylor bench. That is turnover number 9 in the first half by UCF. That number's getting up there already.
Yeah, they're going to have a tough time keeping this gap so low if they continue to just give the ball away to Baylor on unnecessary turnovers. She just threw it to the bench, miscommunication, and give the ball back to Baylor.
Satia Messer exhorting her team from the sideline. Messer, one-time Baylor assistant coach, was here for 8 years. Very successful stretch for Baylor women's basketball. They won the national championship in 2019. Whistle and a foul. The banner that hangs in this arena that could have Satia Messer's initials as part of that. That was on Savannah Scott, her second. Kayla Nelms, shot no good. Little Paige Buggs tries to save it in bounds. It bounces off the back of the backboard. So UCF with the ball, trailing by 5 to the Bears, 19-14, 7:40 to play here in the first half. Let's check back in with Faith Lynch. Faith, on Satia Messer's return to Waco.
Yes, head coach Satia Messer. She has a whole squad behind her tonight. This is more of a homecoming for her, but she got to catch up with family members, former fans, former teammates. So just watching her here tonight at her homecoming at Baylor.
That's really fun. I think she enjoys being back here in Waco.
Yeah, she's been all smiles since tip-off, was out here earlier holding her niece, just having a really good time being back in Waco. And her team came to compete.
Really fun. Jump hook in the paint. Shot won't fall for Kaela Ngodu. Talia Scott left open. Free throw line. She's going to knock that down.
Yeah, that's somebody you can't leave open.
Yeah.
If she takes a quick shot, that's not a good thing.
21-14, the Baylor lead. Under 7 minutes to play, second quarter. Chandler Roberts working on Bella Fauntleroy. Now kicks it back outside. Now back to Chandler Roberts. Spins on the baseline. That may be a blocked shot by Baylor's Bella Fauntleroy. Baylor is 3rd in the nation in blocked shots, and they turn that into a bucket that puts Baylor back up by 10. Three-pointer.
Only double-digit scorer. I'm just surprised that UCF is not identifying her in transition on those baskets. She's wide open getting these looks.
She is 3 of 4 from three-point range. 15 points in the first half by Talia Scott. In the paint, working hard, is Kaela Ngodu, and she's fouled.
Like, you're backing up and then you go under a screen on somebody who is averaging 20 points a game, already had 10 in the first quarter, and she's the only one that's seeing the basket right now, wide for Baylor.
I don't know, call me crazy, but I don't think I go under a screen if I'm guarding her. She's got 15 of Baylor's 24 points. There's equal their biggest lead of the half at 10 points. Ngodu shooting free throws, 6'3" junior from Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Baylor leads the all-time series against UCF 5-0. A miss by Ngodu on the second one. Rebounded by Little Paige Buggs. Scott pulls the trigger, another three in transition. It's no good. Little Paige Buggs, another rebound, tries to pass it out to Jana Van Geitenbeek. Hits Jeff Woolley instead in stride, but that's a turnover by the Bears after they got another offensive rebound. They are working hard and doing well on the glass.
Yeah, and it started with Darion Little Paige Buggs. She averages a double-double. I wouldn't let her get on the glass either and help this team out, but I just think UCF needs to lock into who these players are and play the personnel.
There's Leah Harmon with the ball on the perimeter, has yet to score, has yet to take a shot here in the first half. Drives on Van Geitenbeek, puts it up, no good. First shot of the night by Harmon, the leading scorer for UCF, averages 16.5 per game. Van Geitenbeek to Little Paige Buggs. Gives to Scott, free throw line jumper is good. Wow, Scott is on fire. She's got 17 first half points.
Yeah, you mentioned that Harmon has only gotten one shot on the UCF end, and that's because Baylor has identified that she is the leading scorer. I am not sure why Talia Scott continues to get wide open looks, and she's showing you why she's one of the best scorers in the nation.
Scott has outscored UCF by herself, 17-15. Bears lead by 11 overall, their biggest lead in the first half. There's Leah Harmon looking to break free of Van Geitenbeek. Scramble for the loose ball. Covered up, and it's a shot clock violation. So another turnover by UCF. That is 11. Halftime is 4 minutes, 39 seconds away. Baylor, their biggest lead of the first half. They lead by 11. Thanks in large part to Talia Scott, who's got 17 in the half. That pass is stolen away. Drive, layup, no good. Rolls off by Yancey, but a follow-up is good.
Seems like every time UCF gets a timeout or calls a timeout, they just come out with a new energy.
That's exactly right. Ngodu hit that shot on the follow. Baylor, point-blank range shot missed by Kirsten Johnson. I don't know how she missed that one. Baylor leads by 9, 26-17, under 4 minutes to play, second quarter. And there it is, back-to-back buckets again, coming out of the UCF timeout. Ngodu, another bucket, back-to-back. Short-range shots by Kaela Ngodu. Van Geitenbeek, right side to Fauntleroy, outside to Little Paige Buggs. Scott, long-range three. That's an air ball, that went off the mark. I bet even after a shot like that, she's got the green light from Nikki Collin, doesn't she?
Yeah, and she's going to continue to shoot those shots. To her and to Coach Collin, that's not a bad shot for Talia Scott. Any airspace she gets is a good shot for Talia Scott.
Averages 20.5 points per game. She's got 17 here in the first half. UCF going to bring the ball up, trailing by 7 to the Bears, 26-19. 3:27 and counting, second quarter. Eisen to Yancey. Now right side to Leah Harmon. Yet to score. I think you credit Jana Van Geitenbeek's defense a great deal on Harmon so far. Nice pass underneath. Good job to work the ball to Savannah Scott, who gets the bank in basket.
Yeah, that was a really good pass, though. Just right over out of the reach of the defense, but did not go out of bounds and led Scott to a good layup opportunity.
Placed perfectly, and Scott knocked it down. 5-point lead for Baylor. 6 unanswered by UCF. There's Jana Van Geitenbeek with her first made three tonight. Van Geitenbeek, the senior, transfer from Stanford. So disappointing last year to have the knee injury very early in the season, but's worked so hard and has come back having a terrific year. Pass, this one stolen away by Kirsten Johnson. Another turnover for UCF. Talia Scott weaves through traffic to Van Geitenbeek. Thought about a three. Now going to pass it away. Gives to Dariana Little Paige Buggs, going for the steal. Leah Harmon is whistled for the foul. Anna Van Geitenbeek, 4th in the Big 12 at 6.5 assists per game. In a really terrific senior season. A real senior core on this Baylor team that has helped them to a 17-3 record and a share of first place in the Big 12. Fauntleroy's one of those, and Fauntleroy knocks down the triple.
Yeah, and it helps to get 6 assists when you're passing the ball to people like Talia Scott and Bella Fauntleroy, who can shoot the 3. Down low to Dariana Little-Page-Buggs. She has a lot of options.
Bears back up by 11, equals their biggest lead of the half. Eisen. You know what needs to happen? UCF needs another timeout. That's when they have their runs. Here's a turnover by the Knights. That is now 13 in the first half, turnover-wise for UCF. Little-Page-Buggs, top of the key. Back to Van Geitenbeek. Tried to return the pass. It's knocked away and stolen. Jacoria Bracey has it knocked out of bounds. Will stay with the Knights.
Yeah, just a miscommunication. You can't leave Fauntleroy open. I know earlier in the game she didn't hit her threes, but she is a very capable three-point shooter for Baylor.
Fauntleroy, one of that senior core for Baylor women's basketball. Boy, how valuable are veteran players, experienced players these days. The way a lot of rosters just change yearly. Down low, that's a block and a tie-up. Well done, Little-Page-Buggs will get credit for the block.
You know, we talked about Baylor being one of the best in the country in block shots per game. And right there, I just wouldn't test them. So I'm not sure. They need to find it, get the ball moving from side to side, and then try to go in there.
Third block tonight by Baylor. Talia Scott firing a 3. Back iron, no good. Offensive rebound pulled down by Kirsten Johnson. Underneath to Van Geitenbeek. She missed it, but Little-Page-Buggs an offensive rebound and a putback. The lead is 13. That's the biggest of the game for Baylor. 34-21 Bears. 35 seconds and counting in this second quarter. Leah Harmon again has yet to score. Not only that, but she's only taken one shot, Jordan. 9 on the shot clock. Lob to Scott. Savannah Scott on the feed, knocks it down.
Well, Scott hasn't had any trouble off the bench. She is carving out space down low and finding a way to use her body and put the ball in the basket.
8 in the first half by Savannah Scott, their leading scorer. 6 seconds to go. Foul on the perimeter. No, it's not. It's going to be the illegal screen set by Baylor's Kirsten Johnson. Let's take a look at it.
Yeah, just kind of gets her on the hip. You have to be standing there still and let the defender fend off before you leave or extend your hip there.
Final second, and UCF doesn't get a shot off. Again, that was Leah Harmon with possession of the ball. And Janigan Van Geitenbeek, the defense on her. Foster Pavilion in Waco is the site. John Morris, Jordan Lewis, Faith Lynch, and we're glad you're with us. We begin the third quarter, Baylor leading by 11. That equals their biggest lead of the first half. Here's Leah Harmon, leading scorer for UCF. Again, scoreless in the first half, only one shot from the floor. And she was covered up again there by Jana Van Geitenbeek. Leading scorer in the game is Baylor's Talia Scott. She has 17, the only player for either team to be in double-digit scoring and through the first half. Miss on that turnaround jumper. Fauntleroy, a 3, knocks down the first points of the third quarter. The lead grows to 14, biggest of the night for Baylor, 37-23. Near steal on the perimeter. Turnover's a big issue for UCF in the first half. They had 13 of them. Now for the Knights in Godu. Backs down her defender. Puts the shot up, but it wouldn't fall for her.
Yeah, and those turnovers you mentioned is the difference in the game because it's allowing Baylor to get out and run and get in transition and get open looks.
Three by Fauntleroy is no good. Collision under the bucket, trying to get position. Here's Harmon, drives in. Her shot is no good, but she did draw a foul. Leah Harmon going to the line. We go to Faith Lynch.
I was able to talk with Coach Messer coming out of half, and when I asked her about those 13 turnovers, she said, we got to be better. We got to be able to see the trap and stay outside of it, and seeing Talia Scott is already in double digits. She said that she's an elite talent. We've got to find her in transition. She did a great job of getting her shots up, or we're able to find her, so I'm sure it's a big change we'll see from UCF coming in this half.
All right, Faith, thank you very much for that. Here's Leah Harmon shooting free throws. First one's good. That's her first point of the night. She's a really good free throw shooter, 83% on the year. But again, her first point for the leading scorer for the Knights. Her first 2 points come at the line. And it's a 37-25 Baylor lead.
And UCF is choosing to stick with this zone. They are willing to Baylor knocking down threes from the outside. They want to keep them out of the paint.
Little Paige Buggs, little fadeaway on the left baseline, just short. Harmon brings it up all the way. Layup, no, off the rim. Rebound, Van Geitenbeek. Van Geitenbeek, foot on the pedal all the way. Now brings it back out. Van Geitenbeek, right side. Fauntleroy, short jumper. No good. Little Paige Buggs. The rebound and missed the putback.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of putbacks missed from Baylor that they would normally make, just roll around the rim and come back out.
Little Paige Buggs, the leading rebounder in the Big 12, averages 10.5 per game. She averages a double-double on the season. She has, let's check the numbers. She's got more than her share already tonight. Oh, 15, wow. 15 rebounds by Buggs already. Near travel there, drive, shot, no, but a foul. They're going to whistle Kirsten Johnson with personal foul.
Yeah, I thought it was a typo too, but she has 15 rebounds tonight.
I knew she'd have a bunch. We called her name a lot. I didn't know it was 15. Another look at that foul on Kirsten Johnson, her second. Second team foul in Baylor in this third quarter. Summer Yancey to the free throw line, the sophomore from Kansas City. This one is no good. Here comes a cupcake free throw. One of the great promotions here in Waco is the students. You'll see them waving those cupcakes. If an opponent misses back-to-back free throws, it's Magnolia cupcakes for the entire student section. Not going to get it here as Yancey hits the second free throw. That is a genius promotion.
Yeah, and everyone just kind of migrated to the section behind the basket for the second half.
They want to be a part of it. 11-point Baylor lead, 7:07 and counting, third quarter. Baylor on top of UCF. Johnson nearly lost the handle, got it back, shot no good, then gets the steal. Another turnover by UCF. A little too casual with that pass. Here's Scott, drive, left hand layup is good.
And if you haven't watched her play before, you would be wondering how she got to the rim. But she just is so talented, so skilled, can get any shot that she wants, just weave through the defense and got a wide open layup.
19 on the night now by Talia Scott of Baylor. There's a steal. Ball knocked away by Scott to Van Geitenbeek. Bears on the run out. Pass back to Fauntleroy for three. It's good for Bella Fauntleroy. Timeout, UCF. In a game this season, they're already there. Saw Doug McNamee, great to visit with him at halftime. He's a man of the people. He was up visiting some fans up in the stands. And there is, stop me if you've heard this before, that's another turnover by UCF. Bears break the pressure. 42-26, Baylor on top. 6-minute mark, third quarter. Van Geitenbeek to Fauntleroy. And Geitenbeek looks to drive, curls back out. Now little Paige Buggs in the paint, turnaround shot, and it rolls off no good. fight for the rebound. It's going to be a foul against Savannah Scott of UCF.
And Baylor just continues to crash the glass right there. Kirsten Johnson, she was all the way underneath the basket, but even her attempt and her effort to try to get the rebound drew a foul for another possession.
Savannah Scott, her third personal foul. Tia Messer doesn't like what she's seeing right now. Bears inbound, get another possession, their half of the floor. Nice pass, Van Geitenbeek to Scott, shot won't fall. Rebound UCF. Eisen back outside, three knocked down by Summer Yancey.
And you see UCF gets a rebound, gets a stop, gets out in transition, leading to a wide open Yancey three, but not before Baylor's gonna get the ball down the court and down their throat. Van Geitenbeek drives it all the way to the rim.
So Van Geitenbeek answers for the Bears, who lead at 44-29. 5 minutes to play, third quarter. Ball knocked away, another near steal there by Kirsten Johnson. Free throw line jumper, that one is no good by Kayana Cox. Cox, a 5'10 sophomore. She's a Texan back home from Tenaha and a transfer from SMU. A couple of native Texans on Satia Messer's roster. Little Paige Buggs trying to wheel around the defense. Mahogany Chandler Roberts, and she draws the foul. To score, to shoot the ball, as Dariana Little Paige Buggs is shooting free throws. Baylor has 46 field goal attempts tonight. UCF has only 28. Now that speaks to a 15-point lead. You might think it might be more. Buggs missed them both at the free throw line. Fight for the rebound. UCF had it, knocked out of bounds, will stay with the Knights.
Yeah, and that was close to another turnover for UCF. You get the rebound off of the Baylor free throw, but you are barely able to corral it before you almost turn it over again.
So Knights basketball, 4.5 minutes on the clock, 4:38, 6 to be exact. Third quarter, Baylor leads at 44-29. Bears trying to win their 7th straight and maintain at least a share of first place in the Big 12. Something Coach Collin was asked about. Here's a double team trap in the backcourt. UCF gets it across the timeline. Drive all the way by Eisen, who is fouled on her layup attempt.
And she might have got bailed out right there because she was going at one speed down the court from the backcourt and was able to draw a foul before the block shot.
Not a bad block there by Kirsten Johnson, but got her with her body. So Crystal Eisen will go to the free throw line. Transfer from Tulsa, 5th-year player. First one's a miss. Brings up a Magnolia Cupcake free throw. You wonder if, and she hit it, you wonder if opponents, when the crowd just goes absolutely bonkers like that, if they know about the cupcake.
Yeah, I don't know if they know, but they know they're excited about something because it's an eruption.
Right. 44-30, 14-point Baylor advantage. Van Geitenbeek. Nice pass to Fauntleroy. Back outside to Scott, Talia Scott. Pull-up jumper off the mark, no good. Loose ball tipped out. Little Paige Buggs has it to Fauntleroy. Three is no good. Kirsten Johnson battling Kai Ngodu. Underneath, Ngodu has the rebound. And here is Leah Harmon. I don't want to belabor the point, but she only has 2 points tonight. Both of those at the free throw line. She's their leading scorer, averages 16.5 per game.
And I don't think she's been aggressive enough to be the leading scorer on your team and not getting many shot attempts. Baylor has done a good job on the defensive end, but I think she had some opportunities to be more aggressive and not so passive.
Mahogany Chandler Roberts misses that drive on the baseline. Bears glad to take it the other way. Fauntleroy for the Bears. Ball knocked away from behind. Scramble for it. And what's the call? Maybe a whistle and a foul. It is a foul on Bella Fauntleroy. Second personal on Fauntleroy. She goes to the Baylor bench. Yuting Dunn is coming back on. Kirsten Johnson to the Baylor bench. As Kyla Abraham comes back on the floor as well. Abraham, fourth-year player out of Carrollton, Virginia. You saw Eugene Dunn transfer from Auburn. Thought she was going up for the shot there, but she passed it and it was stolen. Did not look like a shot to you?
That was very unique. I'm not sure if I've seen that.
Baylor in transition. Scott drains the three-pointer. And she's going to get a technical. I think she reacted to some fans right behind her. I know it sure didn't look like it was aimed at a UCF player, but one of our officials, Felicia Grenner, threw the technical on Talia Scott. You know, it's a form of taunting is where you would get the technical. Watch this. She hits the three. She looks over to the Baylor fans, and I don't think there's a UCF player even over there. Yeah, that's tough.
She did that earlier in the game, and they let it go, so I feel like they kind of went against what they were letting and allowing up to this point, but it appeared it could have been on the person that was closing out that fell into the crowd.
Maybe. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Harmon shooting the technical free throws, hit them both. Here's another look at it. I think she was more celebrating with the fans over there. Yeah, there was a player over there. There was a Tech player on that side of the floor. So it's a taunting, basically, technical. Leads to the two made free throws by UCF. Makes it 47-32. The three-pointer by Scott, by the way, gives her 22 points on the night. That one out of bounds. Scott is adamant that they should review the call. Sets in motion. They'll look at the video over there and then decide, and I don't think they're going to review it.
You know, Coach Nikki shook her head no.
Okay.
And Aaron over there, the assistant coach, was like, no.
No. Inbounds, Bugs knocks it back out of bounds. That's an interesting part of these games. When a player feels really strongly about it, do you believe that player? They look at the video, then they still decide, you know, because you could lose a timeout if you appeal or if you review and you don't get it right.
Well, and sometimes it just slows the game down. You may be slowing down your own momentum by going to look at it for a long time.
It's a really good point. Yancey gives to Samari Bankhead. Shot no, but a blocking foul. Well, let's take a look at it, even though there was no review. Oh, is that out of Ison's leg?
It looked like it hit the shin after.
Yeah. Talia Scott immediately motioned back Baylor's ball. So she was pretty sure as Bankhead hits the free throw. Another one coming for Samari Bankhead. Couple of them pulls UCF within 13, 47-34. Bears led by 11 at halftime. They lead by 13 with 2:24 to play. Third quarter as Dariana Littlepage Bugs takes a seat on the Baylor bench. Points off turnovers tonight. Jordan now 19-4 in favor of Baylor. And there's Jana Van Geitenbeek, the layup for two.
Yeah, Baylor's at their best when Van Geitenbeek is aggressive with her shot. I know she likes to pass the ball, team in order, but when she is aggressive with her shot, it helps everyone else too.
Ison, nice drop-off miss by Mahogany Chandler Roberts. Then Ison gets it back. Yancey in three-point territory. And a whistle will stop play away from the ball.
And normally you see Van Geitenbeek hitting threes, but right here just takes advantage of her matchup because they are in that zone and she felt like she could get past the defender and get to the rim.
Well, Eric Bruton, one of our three officials, stopped play, talks to Gina Cross about something, and she says something to the scores table. I don't know if that was a clock issue or what it was.
Yeah, I think they were trying to find out if Ison got it off the rebound rebound or if there was a change of possession.
I got you, right.
With the shot clock. It looks like they decided just to rebound.
Okay. So 19 on the shot clock, 1:48 on the game clock, third quarter. UCF maintains possession. Pass nearly stolen. Knights save the possession. 18-footer right side by Bankhead is no good. An offensive rebound for the Knights. And a travel on the perimeter called on Summer Yancey.
Knights has been getting in there fighting for those rebounds for her team. She's probably the littlest one on the court and finding a way to come up with them.
She is. She's 5'8". 18 turnovers now tonight by UCF. Most they've had in a game this year is 23. So they have been a bit turnover prone. And there's a turnover by Baylor. Entry pass intended for Fauntleroy is stolen away by Mahogany Chandler Roberts, who takes it. And the layup is good by Summer Yancey. 49-36. Baylor leads. Fauntleroy for three. It's no good. A little bit strong. Run out, Yancey. Ball stripped away by Jana Van Geitenbeek. Quick hands.
A lot. Full speed, Yancey's coming at you, and it takes a lot of skill to time that without fouling.
Quick hands by Van Geitenbeek.
And you see she just comes in and just times it perfectly. And actually does a veteran move. You would ask why she didn't save the ball, but you never want to save the ball into the opponent's basket.
That's a good point. Inbounds to Savannah Scott. It is swatted away by Kyla Abraham.
Yeah, swatted away is a nice term for what just happened down there with Abraham. She just meets Scott at the pinnacle and knocks it away.
Four blocks on the night now by Baylor. Baylor leads the Big 12, third in the nation in blocks per game. 7.2 per game is what they average. That ball lost out of bounds. It goes over to UCF. See that, 3 players for the Bears in the top 7 of the league in blocks per game. Final 30 seconds of the quarter. 13 seconds difference in the 2 clocks. Yancey dribbles between the rings. Now puts the play in motion with 9 to shoot. Yancey tried to pass it. Nearly stolen. Scott saves it. 3 to shoot. Ison, she doesn't know. She did not know the shot clock, and it's a shot clock violation. That'll go as another turnover against UCF.
Yeah, she had no idea, but you saw the switch by Baylor right there on the screen at the end of the shot clock, and Abraham is able to use that length to take away that passing angle.
19 turnovers tonight. Here's Baylor. Final seconds, third quarter. Another drive by Van Geitenbeek for 2 more. From midcourt, Yancey, no good. That's the end of the third quarter. She's only taken 2 shots. She's got 4 points all at the free throw line.
Yeah, and I think the difference between the two is Talia Scott is going to put the ball up and do what she does regardless of the outcome. She may have 0 in the first half, 20 in the second half, but she's going to continue to shoot the ball. Whereas we see Harmon has just not attempted very many shots tonight, and you can see that throughout the box scores. When she's been on, but when she's not, she kind of floats around, like you said. Hasn't really been aggressive.
Yeah, it's tough when your 16-point per game score isn't scoring, which is happening tonight for UCF. Bears miss a couple of opportunities. UCF brings it down, and Leah Harmon, I don't think there was a foul there. I think the ball was just knocked out of bounds. For Baylor, Inez Gorianova is on for the first time this evening, trying to get her some quality minutes. Ball knocked away. Baylor has it. Talia Scott. We're just talking about her and her 22 points on the night. Gorianova will drive. Shot blocked on the layup. Baylor now has 14 steals on the night. With that steal at the other end, that ties their season high. They had 14 against Lemoyne back in non-conference. Scott for three. No good. Front iron. Rebounded by UCF, Samari Bankhead. So comfortable 15-point lead for the Bears. 9 minutes to play, fourth quarter. Baylor 6-1 in Big 12, and there's another steal for the Bears.
Yeah,
now a season high.
They're just forcing passes that aren't there, and I think right there that's an opportunity where Harmon is not. You're not really being guarded, and you're just automatically throwing it into the paint where there's the whole team, and you're turning it over when maybe you could get a shot up.
Scott tried to get somebody else a shot. She got the ball back, and she said, all right, I'll take it. Missed on that three. Runner, no good by Yancey. Here's a drive by Harmon. Now there's an aggressive drive to the bucket, and she'll have a chance at a three-point play.
Yeah, when she's aggressive, you can see what she can do. Get and one opportunities for her team, but I just feel like she has been floating around. And as you mentioned, if you're the leading scorer of the team, your coach and your team is looking for you to be aggressive and get those points for your team.
Dariana Little-Page Buggs whistled for the foul. That is her second tonight. Here's Harmon at the line. Free throw is good. She's got 7 points on the night. 5 of those 7 at the line. She'll go to the bench. Kayana Cox from Tenaha, Texas. The other Texan out there or on the roster for Satia Messer is Logan Reed. She's a freshman from Godley, Texas.
And Dunn is just out here having shooting practice. You cannot leave somebody that wide open off of a made free throw.
Yu-Ting Dunn, the basket. Little-Page Buggs, another rebound. That is 17 on the night by Buggs. Give to Abraham. Outside to Scott. She'll drive. Nice pass. Drew the defender to her. Dished it off. Abraham banks it in.
Just way too easy. Just Talia Scott passing up a three, getting into the lane, and dropping it off for her teammate.
Timeout, Satia Messer with 7:40 to play, fourth quarter. Talia Scott turned, but the students really bring the energy, not just here, but in Orlando and everywhere around the Big 12 Conference. We appreciate the student energy here in Foster Pavilion. UCF with the ball coming out of the timeout. Baylor leads by 17. Down low, shot is short. A miss there by Kai Ngodu. Inez Voyanova brings it up for the Bears. Gives to Yu-Ting Dunn. Hit a three right before that timeout. Her first points tonight. Abraham fakes left, comes back right. How about that move for two by Kyla Abraham?
Yeah, how about that move? That's fade away from your post players. You're in trouble.
Kyla Abraham puts the Bears up by 19, their biggest lead tonight. 58-39, Baylor leads. How about the defense by Baylor tonight? They've allowed 39 points with 6 minutes, 42 seconds to play.
Yeah, you said it. How about this move? Just a shimmy to a fadeaway from your post player.
That's a good-looking move by Abraham. Bears have the ball back. Bears on a 7-0 run over the last minute and a half. Buggs under the basket. Shot no good, but she is fouled from behind. Samari Bankhead is whistled for that foul. Dariana Little-Page Buggs goes to the free throw line. Baylor tied with TCU and Texas Tech for first place in the Big 12. Going into play tonight, all three are 6-1 in the league. That's after the Bears lost their conference opening game right here, that 1-point loss to Texas Tech. But remember that game, Jordan, Talia Scott didn't play, but the last 2 minutes of the game, she had the ankle injury.
Yeah, and that's what really determines your season is your health and who's available, who can play. Because you can see on each and every night, anybody can go down. Nobody is invincible to a loss.
Dariana Littlepage Bugs. Free throw rims out. She is 0 for 3 at the free throw line tonight. Second one's good.
You reverse jinxed her. You helped her make that free throw.
Reverse jinx. Bears lead at 59-39. That is now the high water mark. 20-point lead for Baylor. Nice entry pass, shot too strong, fight for the rebound. Kai and Godu gets it back, and then there's a foul call.
Yeah, UCF is a very much a high-low, deep post team. They're going to post, they're going to throw it back out, they're going to repost, and they're really just trying to pound it in the paint. But Baylor has not allowed them to just throw the ball in there easily or even get good position under the basket.
Foul is on Yuting Dunn. That is her second. First free throw is good by Ngodu. Godu's had double-doubles 2 of the last 3 games. Gets that free throw to fall. 59-41, a couple of free throws. Pass back outside. 3 is good by Dariana Littlepage Bugs.
Yeah, she said, don't worry about the free throw line. I'll just step back further and knock it down for you.
She may be shooting a higher percentage from 3 than she is from the line tonight. Bears by 21 with 5:40 to play. Bankhead drives in. Her runner doesn't draw iron. Out of bounds, Baylor's ball.
And she doesn't shoot a lot of threes, but when she can get her feet set and you leave her wide open like that, she can knock it down.
Hey, she's 2 of 2 shooting 3-pointers tonight. 11 points total for Bugs. Becomes only the second player in the game to be in double-figure scoring. Talia Scott has 22, Bugs with 11. Nobody else for Baylor and nobody for UCF in double figures. Dunn for 3. High arching shot, doesn't draw iron. Works like an assist to Bugs for 2 more.
Yeah, we're talking about her points in double digits. She has double-digit rebounds to go with that.
That's right. 13 points and now 18 rebounds on the night for Dariana Littlepage Bugs. Her career high is 20. She had against Iowa State. 10th double-double of the season for Bugs. Now it's called on Gordianova. That is her first of the night. Talia Scott will go to the bench. Brown coming on the floor for Baylor. Bankhead goes to the bench for Coach Satia Messer. I think it was a warm welcome back to Waco for Coach Messer right up until the opening tip. Well, maybe it will be warm after the game, but during the game, all business for the Bears. Ella Brown is on the floor, 5'8" junior transfer from SMU. Bank shot, no good, but a whistle and a foul is going to be called on Kyla Abraham. You know, Satia Messer back in Waco, there's the ties when she was here as an assistant coach for 8 seasons. There's also a tie that goes further back. She played at the University of Arkansas. She's in the Arkansas Hall of Honor. She was recruited to Arkansas when Gary Blair was the head coach. The recruiting coordinator was a guy named Tom Collin, who is Nikki Collins' husband. So he's the man who recruited Satia to the University of Arkansas. She helped lead them to their first ever Final Four in 1998. And that's another great tie between Nikki and Tom Collin and Satia Messer. Free throws good there at 64-43. Baylor on top. 4 minutes, 35 seconds to play. The Australian Ella Brown on the floor. To Dunn, also Kara Pemberton is on for Baylor. Drive, layup, that one is good.
Yeah, you're probably watching like, oh, Baylor just emptied their bench, but these are valuable minutes. You don't know when you're going to have to step up. Baylor was down at Oklahoma State late in that game, and Ella Brown had to come in that game and help them recover from that deficit.
Really great point. Valuable minutes in Big 12 competition. A miss by Scott, a rebound by Ngodu, and a whistle. With 3:55 to go, let's check back in with our Faith Lynch.
Jordan, that's something that I got to see in the last timeout for Baylor. Nikki Collin has high expectations for this team and high standards, so what an opportunity for some of those girls that are on the bench tonight to get some more playing reps. And this is what it's about. You're only as good as your bench, so really cool to see some new faces out on the court tonight.
Yeah, really nice they have that opportunity still with 3:55 to play. Thank you, Faith. And Ngodu, first free throw is good. The palindromic score, Baylor 64, UCF 46. And Ngodu misses on the second free throw. Nelms rebounds for Baylor. Ella Brow up the floor. Orianova to Dunn. The screen by Nelms. Free throw line jumper is short. Taken out of the air, and the rebound by Kai Ngodu. Drive, layup, no, but a whistle will stop play.
Yeah, Baylor's kind of got a little sloppy down the stretch. That's why I think these minutes do matter, because you don't want to just give up a lead. You want to come in and help extend that lead. And just silly fouls on one end, air balls on the other end, kind of rushing, not getting into their sets, doing what they want to do.
I tell you what, Brown was pretty close to being set there, but they called her for the foul, the personal. So to put Kayana Cox at the free throw line. Sophomore from Tenaha. It's no good. Nothing gets that student section going like a chance at Magnolia Cupcakes. They won't get it there. Second one is good by Cox. Makes it 64-47. Baylor on top. Bears will be home again on Sunday, hosting the University of Houston. There's a three by Kirsten Johnson. Johnson, the long-range bomb.
Yeah, when Kirsten Johnson is hitting threes for Baylor, I don't know what other defense you need to play. She's doing it on the inside, the outside. She's doing it everywhere.
Gets Baylor to the crowd favorite 67-point total. A lead by 20. Steal by the Bears. Brow. Layup, that one is no good, but Pemberton is fouled. Baylor's going to go to the bench area. Tony Green had some sharp words for those reserves.
Yeah, he's still coaching until the end of the game. That entire Baylor staff is going to coach until the end of the game. And more importantly, he wants to make sure that his defense is not being damaged during these last few minutes.
Pemberton, you saw, from Langley, British Columbia, Canada. Transfer to Baylor from North Dakota. And the free throw is good by Kara Pemberton. Second one's good. Good form on the two free throws by Pemberton. Puts Baylor up by 22, 2:47 to play. The Bears will host Houston on Sunday. UCF goes home. They've got another ranked opponent, back-to-back ranked opponents. They'll host TCU coming up next. Then Iowa State after that. In the paint, and Ngodu won't fall. Rebound, Kirsten Johnson for Baylor. 2:20 and counting. Baylor leads by 22 over the Knights. Looking to run their all-time record to 6-0 against UCF. That three from the corner is too long, out of bounds. Last touched by a UCF Knight. Johnson firing another three, in and out. She didn't miss that one by much.
I was going to say, why not? She's shooting 61% on the season before that shot. She doesn't take a lot of them, but when she's open, she can make them.
She was 1 of 2 tonight shooting threes. Under 2 minutes remaining. 17-footer right side. That one is no good, but an offensive rebound and put back by Ngodu, and she is fouled.
Yeah, she's been down there working. That's now her 12th rebound, so
wow.
No shot. She's the Dariana Little Page Bugs of UCF.
Yeah. So she's got a double-double tonight. Hard-earned 10 points and 12 rebounds for Kai Ngodu. She goes to the line here. Her 4th double-double of the season. A miss. Ngodu and Eisen in double figures for UCF. Their leading scorers with 10 apiece. And now Ngodu with her 11th point tonight. It's 69-48. Baylor on top with 1:40 remaining. Gordianova gives to Brow. Back outside, Ella Brow drives, kicks, back outside to run some clock for the Bears. Drive, layup, good by Inez Gordianova.
And you see how excited her teammates are for her, the staff. Everybody just jumped up right there when Inez scored the basket.
Now the biggest lead tonight for Baylor at 71-48. With 1 minute to play. Drive, shot blocked. Nelms keeps it in bounds. Ball knocked away. Bears lose possession. Now they get it back. Kirsten Johnson has it. 15 to shoot for the Bears. 44 on the game clock, 4th quarter. Entry pass to Nelms, but off her hands and out of bounds. That basket by Gordianova, you wonder why the bench, her teammates, her coaches got so excited. Those are her first points tonight. She played in both games on the Utah Swing last week, just coming back from an injury, and she has now scored in this game this evening. Kayla Nelms adds 2 more for the Bears. Nelms, the sophomore from Miami, playing against the team from Orlando. 18 seconds on the clock. Nikki Collins says back it out, run off the final seconds. And big smiles on that Baylor bench. Baylor wins their 7th in a row in Big 12 play. They win tonight decisively over UCF. 73-48, Baylor the final score.
Yeah, Baylor came in here and defended their home court, did what they're supposed to do. What we talked about, one of the hottest teams in the